Okay folks, welcome back. Okay, we're still doing our live teaching. Right, what we're going to be looking at today is changing fractions like 4/10ths, 500ths, 1200ths, 2000ths, 145,000ths and 12,000ths, changing these style of fractions into decimals. That's our exercise 5. Okay, so welcome back. So video number 4. So we are now going to be converting changing let's underline the title. Okay, right. Here's our title over here. We're going to go into. I need to put a margin on the side. Okay, right, there we go. Let's have a look at the. Right. So we have, okay, units, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Okay, we have 4/10ths. First example number 1. Now if you have a number that's 4/10ths, okay, which column do you reckon that will go into? Into the 10th column. Well done. So the 4 will go into here. What do we do with the decimal point column? Put a decimal point down, and the units you have to fill in a 0. So what we can do here, lightly put a line down. Keep all the columns and the numbers lined up properly. So we have 4 in the 10th. We can't have a number that's 4 in the 10th without having a point to indicate that this 4 is a 4/10ths. And then we can't have the point without the 0. The 0 is very important. So it says 0.4, 4/10ths. Okay. Now, when we look at 500ths, about 500ths, it should be 5 in the hundredths column. So we come down the hundredths column, but we have a gap here and no decimal point and another gap here. What do we do these places? Okay, 0.05. This is a very simplistic way of putting single digit fractions with tenths and hundredths into the right column. Okay, when the questions get a bit more juicy, we need to have a slightly different technique. So let's have a look at one more of the easier type questions. Let's say we have 7 thousandths. So 7 thousandths, where do we start? In the thousandths column, we put a 7 in there, but then we have a gap here and a gap here and no decimal point and there. So that number just reads 7 at the moment. We need to make sure it reads. So 7 in the thousandths means no hundredths, no tenths, decimal point there. So that reads correctly 0.007. It's in the correct place. Right, we're going to move on to the next page over here now and show you the other method. Okay, so for example, we have 23 hundredths. So if you want to change this fraction into a decimal, what do? We get the top number. This line represents So what does this read? This reads 23. That line means divide by. And the bottom number is, so what are we saying all together? We are saying, now this fraction 23 hundredths is actually 23 divided by 100. Now, how do we do 23 divided by 100? Now dividing by 100, what do we do with the decimal point? When we divide by 100, the number gets smaller. So the number physically moves towards the right on the place value. This moves that way, which is the same as the decimal point moving to the left. So we can insert the decimal point at the end of a whole number. The decimal point lives at the end of a whole number. We don't normally put it in. That's where it lives. So the number 23, let's put over here. 23 is the same as 23 point note. Yes? What's the number 118? That's the same as saying 118. So what goes there at the end? A point. Point note. So the decimal point is always at the end of the number, at the right hand side. So the decimal point is there. Okay, let's do another question. If I have, say, the number 3, where's the decimal point in that number? At the beginning or the end? At the end. Well done. So the number can be rewritten as 3 point note. I call this part here decimalizing a whole number. So the number 23 is a whole number. You've got to make sure when you change into a decimal number, put the decimal point not in between, not at the front, but always at the end. Always at the end of the number. So decimal point always at the end. Okay? End means far right. Okay? So we can use the technique of moving the decimal point 2 places to the left. Copy down. Copy down. So the answer is 0.23. Excellent. So you got the answer. Now don't forget, when you're going to be doing these questions, you won't need to do all this writing and explaining. That's just for me to explain it to my students sitting here, and for the students who are watching on YouTube, the proper technique. So you need to learn it. Let's do another question, but let's do it quickly now. Okay? So that's example number 2, example number 3, example number 4, example number 5, sorry, yeah, that's number 4, example number 5. Okay. Right, example number 5. Let's have a look at, okay. Right, can you read this question for me? What does it say? 328 thousandths. That's the actual fraction. Now, how do we read this question, that question? What does this question mean? This question means what? Read it to me. 328. 328, what does the line mean? Divide. Good. So if you read the question again, read. That's 328. That line stands for, so the top number divided by the bottom number. Excellent. Top number divided by the... Now, what is the technique for dividing by 1,000? The equivalent technique. We have to get the decimal point, put it at the end. Okay, so the decimal point goes right at the end, right hand side of the number, there at the end. And then now we've got to move it, how many places? 3 places to the left. 1, 2, 3. Drop it. Move, drop. Copy, copy, copy. So the answer reads at the moment 0.328. Now is that my final answer? So what should the answer be then? Excellent, lovely. 0.328. Remember, 0.328 okay when you are speaking it, but when you are writing it down, it must be 0.328 to make the number sound correctly and look correctly. And that one's done. That's lovely. Okay, do we need any more examples? Okay, the student's nodding, no, we don't need any more examples. So we got, let's go back to this. The easier ones, we just pop single digits into the correct column and fill in zeros. And then we went to one way, you can't put 23 into the hundredth column, can you? So this is why we have this another technique. We need to know where the numbers go. We can't pop 328 into one column of the thousands. So now this technique helps us get the decimal number right. Okay, remember, 23 becomes 23.0, 118 becomes 118.0, 3 becomes 3.0, or just 3 point, or just 118 point. Okay, decimalizing the whole numbers in preparation for moving to the left. Copy the numbers down and fill in extra zero. Put the decimal point at the end, move the 3 places left. Copy everything down, fill in extra zero, job's done. Lovely, lovely. Okay, we're going to stop video number 4 now. And for the students who are on YouTube, you need to focus your attention on exercise number 5, which is this exercise here, and try the following questions. And I'll be going through some of these answers in the next video, which will be video number 5. Okay, so I'm going to set for my student here, sitting with me, the following questions. If you want to do the following questions as well first, please try them, and then I'll go through these particular questions in the next video. Okay. Right. Thank you for watching video number 4. See you in video number 5.